Welcome back to Simple Builds. This is the $300 Honda Civic rebuild series, and we're hopefully going to be able to diagnose the engine problem today. In the last video, episode 1, you saw we got the brakes completely refinished. I'm going to try to give a nice fresh coat on the back drums as well, and then we're going to see what else we can get into. Let's get started. Let's crank off these wheels. We're gonna respray these drums, like I said, on the outside, just to get a nice silver, fresh, clean coat on them. I'm just gonna show you one side and then do both sides. I'll show you guys the other side when it's done, but let's get this wheel off, sand it down, prep spray everything, give it a coat of primer, a couple coats of paint on top, make sure that they're high temp, and then I'll show you guys the results. Alright, well, it's not the prettiest, I gotta say, because you had to leave this mating surface here for the wheel with no paint on it. If you guys have any other solutions to this, let me know in the comments, but I figured this is the fastest and easiest way to make it practical and also make it look better. Once the wheel's on, obviously, this is all gonna be covered by the back plate of the wheel, so I didn't wanna mess it up because you can't put paint on there because you could risk having an unbalanced wheel, because even a small fraction of distance in that mating surface between the drum here and the back of the wheel could cause a wobble. So I don't want you guys to have to run into anything like that, and I'd rather it look a little bit ugly when the wheel's off, because most times the wheel should hopefully be on the car when you're driving down the road. So this is a pretty good solution for now. Very simple, same thing like we did on the front calipers and copper brackets. So I think that looks pretty sweet. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let's jump on to the next project with this car. Okay, so here's where we are at currently. You saw the fender and the headlights out. We're gonna need to do a headlight restoration on this. This fender, I think, is too far gone because there's a big crack or dent in the crease there, and that's probably gonna be maybe a little bit past my extent of bodywork. So we'll see if we can find a cheap fender. We'll probably need 2 fenders, or I'm gonna see if I can get this dent out right here. You can see a dent in the fender. So I'll see if I can find another fender before it goes in for paint. But 2 fenders, headlights. We're definitely gonna have to figure out what we can do about that damage there. I tried to pull it a little bit, but I think Dave knows a body guy that'll be able to help us out there. Hopefully he can help us out with that. And then once we go down here, we made some progress. We were trying to pinpoint the noise for the tick. Rod bearings look good. You know, the clearance is fine. They go side to side, normal play, and there's no up and down movement. So everything is good there on the bottom end. And while we were looking at the bottom end, we picked up a new oil pan gasket and a little bit of RTV gasket maker. This is all pretty cheap. So we're gonna throw this in because this was leaking. And then we already cleaned up the surface of the oil pan here and also the surface on the bottom of the engine. I'm about to put that gasket back on, put some RTV around the edges here, seal it back up. And then I'm thinking we also pulled the header to get the oil pan off. So while that is off, I'm gonna try. A lot of people were saying that this gasket was the problem in between the downpipe and the exhaust flange here. So I'm definitely gonna look and see if I can find a new header. If not, I'll clean this one up and try to just make it look as best as possible. You can definitely see that that was not working properly. So I'll have to figure out what I want to do with this. I'm definitely going to see if I can find a cheap eBay one I just don't want it to look too nice next to everything else in the engine bay that looks pretty factory. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but I'm thinking that that might be the cause of our rattle. I'm not sure, it doesn't seem likely. It sounded like it was coming from the top right section by where the water pump is, so but we're gonna rule it out, then we'll drop it down, open the garage door, let it run for a little bit, see if that engine tick is still there. If it is, then we'll probably jump onto water pump and see if that'll fix our issue. What is up? Quick intermission in today's video to remind you guys that this is Simple Car Giveaway number 2. Again, this is a work in progress, and I hope you guys can see the vision of what this thing is gonna turn into. I have a really exciting plan for this thing, and it's gonna clean up really nice, and it's gonna come together fast. So link is in the description. Go get entered, simpleclothing.co, or join Simple Motor Club. Be automatically entered into every giveaway like this with 400 entries automatically into these giveaways. I appreciate your support on these. I hope you guys are excited about this build. I'm happy how it's coming along, having fun with it. So let's jump back into the build. Okay, we just finished up with the oil pan. You have to do a torque sequence, as you guys might have seen. You got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got to do all kinds of, shimmy in at 10 foot-pounds on each bolt. So that should be good. Had to wait about an hour after setting them in by hand, and then come back, and then we torqued them down. So we did all that the proper way. We shouldn't have any leaks there. I just cleaned up the transmission. Everything should be nice and clean. We shouldn't see any more leaks down here. Up next, I do want to just jump onto the exhaust. I want to take this off really quick. I think I found a D-Series stock exhaust local to me. A subscriber hit me up. I posted on Instagram, and he said he'll give it to me for free and donate it to the build. So I really appreciate that. I hope that pans out. You can see there's a bunch of holes in this. Oh, that one is welded straight to the... Okay, so we're gonna have to see if we can chop that off there. That's welded straight to the chassis, so that's always fun. That's probably why it rattles so stinking much. You got zip ties up here, some slinky type material. Of course, the classic exhaust DIY band on here as well. You really would think I'd get a trans jack by now. This is, I think, the third exhaust that's almost fallen on my head. Under here, I did see this shift linkage right here. Looks like it's probably ready to be replaced, so that should tighten up some of the slop in the shifter. That'll be exciting. We'll get that bushing. I also want to clean up a little bit of here. I'll just cut this away, cut this a clean line so it's straight across, nice and round. It is the next day, and guess what? It panned out. This is my subscriber here. He is not home, so he said I can park here and come pick up the exhaust. But look at this. Sick. Thank you, bro. His name was Devin. I appreciate you. Let's see if we can fit this exhaust in the M3. Oh boy. Here is the stock unit. I hope this fits up and works good. It looks like it should, and if it doesn't, we can weld it up. So we got a nice straight pipe there and a stock muffler section. That is a huge success. Let's get this thing in the car. Pretty sure that the exhaust on the hatch is different than the coupe. I heard that this is a bit longer. I didn't look that up until after, but I think we can make it work. This one is obviously, you'll see, a lot bigger. and a lot louder. This is an aftermarket system here, and this is the stock system here, a lot smaller, which is good. I don't want a ton of noise from this car since it's gonna be a daily, and I wanna have people to be able to do what they want with it. We're gonna mock this up and see what it looks like, and then no problem for a JCC. They've done that stuff before. They can add in a piece and extend this muffler and make it fit, but I do wanna see if a couple of these pieces will fit for sure, or how much modification we'll have to do to make this stock system for the hatch work for our coupe. So let's line it up and see what we're looking like. All right, we got mostly everything fitted up. It looks like it should work with a little bit of modification. So that's exactly what we were looking for. So I've got to bring it over to JCC Custom. They're gonna help us out and hopefully just attach a couple pieces that might not match up perfectly. So we could either drop it from over here and extend a piece along here so it drops down and then attaches to this. Pull this out here so that this exhaust tip lines up somewhere over here. So it's not very far off. Once that hanger is up on there, then this exhaust tip will line up perfectly with this slot here. I don't know if we'll be able to utilize this, but the guys over at JCC Custom will be able to help us out and tell us if that will work or if we need to cut this and weld it together. And then it comes all the way down the straight middle section here and then lines up with the header perfectly. We just mocked it up real quick and just threw the header back on. So that should be fine. Then we're gonna drop it down, put some oil in it, and like I said, we're gonna listen to see if that exhaust rattle was the problem or if it was something else. That is not perfect, but it's much better. Chopped away all the nasty edges there. I'm definitely looking back at it now, it's a little bit uneven still. I'll probably come back and try to touch that up, smoother of a line. It looks like a little kid tried to make a half circle. Once the exhaust tip is in there and the car's on the ground, you're not really gonna be able to see that. You mainly just see it because it's eye level. So let's try to clean this up a little bit more, and then we're gonna jump into putting oil in it and start the car. Still rattles, can't say I'm surprised, but pretty bummed. So we'll have to see what we can do. I'm gonna probably order the timing kit with the water pump because I think it is a bad water pump. I don't know for sure. Okay, we got good news and bad news. Good news is water pump is completely fine. Bearing spin smooth, no scoring on the inside by the blades or anything. Feels good. Bad news is that means it's something probably in the head. So didn't want to do it, but we're gonna take the head off and then see what we can find. So this thing is becoming more of a project than I anticipated, but hey, what can you do? That's the world of cars. So I'm not mad, I'm having fun with it. I hope you guys are enjoying the build series so far. But a little update, I'm probably gonna have to extend the giveaway time because again, unexpected engine problems. I do not wanna give you guys a car that does not run. So I will give you guys an update and we'll just play it by ear as we go. Hopefully you guys can stick around with me. But guys, be sure to get entered. It might not look like much now, and it might be a little scary, but bear with me. Give me a little extra patience here, and I hope you guys are enjoying the build series so far. So don't forget to get entered. Link is in the description, or you can join Simple Motor Club and be automatically entered with 400 entries into this giveaway and every giveaway that we do in the future. So that is going to be a wrap on episode 2 of the $300 Honda Civic giveaway project. So I hope you guys are excited about this. As you can see, we're definitely getting a little bit over our head, no pun intended. Oh, all right, it's late, I gotta go. That's a wrap on episode 2. I'll see you guys in the next epi.